It's Renee over at Tasman Farm again, and I wanted to pop on today and do a quick video on the tools that I use to groom my rabbits and show you a little bit of how I do it. First though, I wanted to show you, a couple weeks ago I did a video on the felt brushes that I use to clean Angora fiber off everything because it does stick, and I had showed you this brush that I use. And today I was cruising through Meijer's, and this happened to catch my eye. It was in the pet aisle, and it's a mitt with the red felt on it, and it works really, really well. I know Meijer's is kind of a northern thing, so maybe, I don't know if these are out maybe in pet supply stores or maybe somewhere else, but if you need a good fiber brush, this would work for any fiber that you're working with. Try to look for one of these in the pet aisle. It was like $4.95, I think. So another good tip. And I wanted to talk a little bit about grooming the rabbits. First off, the Angora rabbits have kind of gotten a bad rap. A couple of years back there was a video done, and I think it was done by a group, and it showed how the Chinese people get their Angora, because China is one of those big countries that does a lot of Angora. And the video wasn't very pleasant, and we get a lot of questions here, actually, or I do, in regards to, do we have to kill the rabbits to get their fiber? No. Anyone who raises Angora rabbits here in the States does not kill their rabbits to get fiber. I can almost guarantee you that. These animals they're so simple to groom, and they need to be groomed. If you don't groom them, they're like cats. They do groom themselves like cats, and so they'll get hairballs and stuff, and they can get something called wool block. And so if you don't keep up on their grooming, they will get sick from that. And so it's important to do that, but you don't have to kill them to get their fiber. So I'm going to show you today the tools that I use. Basically, I have just regular dog toenail clippers or cat toenail clippers. And I won't show you today clipping toenails because I'd have to get really close to show you. But essentially, if you've ever clipped a dog or a cat toe, it's the same thing. You can see the end of the nail and you just trim them off. And these, you can get any kind, they work fine. So that's the one tool that I always have. I do groom. When I groom, I either shear the rabbit down, usually in the summer. Here in Michigan, it does get warm. And so I will take their coats right down and keep up with that most of summer. And so to do that, I use these little Fiskars scissors. And I think they're called, I'll have to look it up and mention it when I post this. They are a seam ripper type scissors. So they have an angle, and I love these scissors to groom. They're nice and small here. And so it's real easy to get under the coat and be able to see where you're clipping, so you're not catching the rabbit. So these are Fiskars seam ripper shears, I believe. I'll put a little note here at the bottom of the video to let you know what these are called. So these are the things that I keep on hand. And then the last thing I keep is a wire metal dog grooming brush. And this one I love. I've had this one for years. This is the one I always use. And it not only has the longer tines, but it also has a second set of little tines in between. And this is awesome for grooming the rabbits. So those are the three tools that I use. And I brought in black clover. The rabbit's back. This is black clover. He is a French Angora. He has the clean face. We learned about those last week, the French and English. And so when we are grooming, or when I'm grooming now, the kids have mostly grown and gone away now. So this is my chore. It used to be theirs. Essentially, you can see rabbits are very docile. They'll sit in your lap. And all I am doing is just brushing through. And I do like to comb more than I like to clip. If I clip, I always card it. I always hand card my clips anytime I'm selling it or using it. It just makes a nicer product. But when I'm combing, I can spin this right off the comb. This is nice and it's clean, and I always try to keep my rabbits clean, their cages clean, because it makes for a nice product. And then I use coffee containers are really nice to put the fiber in. They have the covers, and it keeps them, so anything like a plastic bucket works, and that's how I keep the fiber. And a lot of times when we have a lot of animals, I'll put the name of the animal, because I also try to sort when people are buying. They get one specific color from one animal when they buy the fiber. So essentially, all you have to do is just pet the rabbit. I mean, it's like petting the rabbit. There's no tugging or pulling. Sometimes you'll hit a mat and you could just work through that or use the shears to trim it out. But you can see, and also with Angora, when you hear of someone, and then there's a piece of grass or hay that I just pull out. When you hear of someone plucking, this is plucking. And literally, she doesn't have a real heavy coat right now. She's been groomed last week, so she doesn't have a lot on her. But you can literally just run your fingers through and get fiber that way. Now, when I'm shearing, again, we're in, and usually I don't always do this in the house, but we're in winter 6 months of the year, and I don't have a great setup right now outdoors, and so the rabbits do come inside quite often in the winter. In the summer, I usually always groom outside. And so when I'm shearing, all I do is kind of part her hair, and I can see right where her skin is. And I just start by getting as close to her skin, which again is why I love these shears. And you can just take it right down and move along as you go. And you're getting, again, she's just been groomed. So her top, she doesn't have a lot here. She's got more on her bottom that I need to groom. So these are pretty short hairs. But when you get down to her sides here and just trim gently, and you can see she hasn't moved during this entire process. So I'm not hurting her at all. These are a little bit longer. I do like their stable length to be at least 3 to 4 inches, and every rabbit is kind of different. I have some rabbits that I know I'm going to get really long fiber from, and some not so much. Black Clover is, I think she's 6 years old, so she's getting pretty old for an outdoor Angora rabbit. And we've had really good luck with our outdoor Angoras. I had 2 pass away this last fall, and they were almost 8 years old. One of them was 8, and the other one was getting ready to turn 8 this summer. So they have a longer lifespan if you take good care of them. But essentially, all you do is just cut it off. And this one, I will take all of this and I'll run it through my carders, which the video on that is a couple weeks ago. I did a video on how to carve Angora. And so essentially that's all you do to groom them. There's nothing harming them. They're not, and she's just sitting here enjoying getting groomed today. So hopefully that helps with any questions. And if you want to see any more videos or have any questions, you can comment in this video below. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Tailspin Farm, and also I have a website now that is getting up and running, and it's www.tailspinfarm.com. So I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.